Welcome. Waleed Nasir has an MBA from Yale, an MS in Electrical Engineering and Computer Science from University of Michigan, and a BS in Electrical Engineering from the University of Engineering and Technology, Lahore. Waleed came to the USA as a graduate student on a Fulbright Scholarship. He landed his first gig at Bell Labs, where he worked with their wireless team to enhance the Wi-Fi standard. Waleed currently heads a technology innovation lab, Virtual Force. Welcome, Waleed. You have quite an engineering pedigree. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do at Virtual Force?
It's a pleasure to be here, Debbie. Thank you so much. So my work at Virtual Force is that we create new technologies and products by partnering up with the CEOs and business leaders, understanding their challenges, their growth problems, and then delving deeper into how we could leverage technology and create technology around their needs and accelerate their growth.
Wow. So what do you do on a day-to-day basis? How do you use your engineering skills?
Sure. So I have a software engineering background. So I have been building technology products and software pretty much all my life. And since I've been through business school as well, what I do is I combine business needs with tech and kind of work backwards by looking at what kind of business challenges are being faced by the organizations, and then scoping and architecting solutions to drive those challenges forward.
Well, that's really interesting. I hadn't thought of combining business with engineering, but wow, you can make great change in the world by doing that. That's fabulous. How did you come to study engineering? Did you always want to be an engineer?
Yeah, I was really given two options as a kid by my parents, either to become a doctor or an engineer. And I just had a natural predilection towards math and science. Did really well in those areas. Was always passionate about it. In high school, I was fortunate to get into the National Physics Olympiad. So that also fostered my interest in science. And one thing led to another, and I ended up at one of the top programs in electrical engineering in Pakistan, which then led me to apply for Fulbright Scholarship. Was fortunate to accomplish that, and came to University of Michigan. Spent a lot of time in those glassy doors behind the computer lab, doing a lot of coding and research. That is how I got involved with Bell Labs as well.
Wow. So, I mean, you've really had a lot of accomplishments. So your parents basically said, choose one of these two paths. You chose engineering. You had an actual real talent for this. Are you happy that you're doing engineering?
Yes, I am. It's a very interesting area. What really drives me is I get a lot of dopamine by solving interesting problems, and the engineering career definitely has that element to it. You get to see your work in practice when you launch an application or write code that is impacting potentially millions of users. You definitely get that like a sense of fulfillment as a scientist in some form.
Absolutely. It sounds like your parents knew best. So, so what's next for you? Do you have any vision for what you're going to be accomplishing with Virtual Force, or any big ideas that you have coming out?
Yeah, that's a great question. And this is something that I spend a lot of time thinking about. And I have arrived at a stage where I want to give back as much as possible. I want to kind of encourage others, maybe share my perspectives around what is it like being an engineer, and also how can one transition into higher ranks of leadership through being hands-on in tech. And that can be a very powerful tool for up-and-coming leaders who even want to be at the leadership front, working within tech.
That's phenomenal. We are so thrilled, obviously, to have you as one of our team members and mentors with the Mentor Project. And I know that you have been mentoring, and that's a passion of yours. Do you have any recommendations for kids?
Well, all I would say is find interesting problems that you can solve, and those problems don't have to be mathematical or like technical in nature, but the sense of fulfillment one can achieve by creating real impact and putting a meaningful dent in the universe can be very rewarding, extremely rewarding.
Thank you so much, Waleed. We are so thrilled to be able to have your words of wisdom today, and I really want to thank you so much.
Thank you, Debbie.